Need I say more?
Real gorilla. I rock the planet, beating my chest like a silverback back, silverback back. I hold it down, take my crown on them. I'm a silverback back, silverback silence. There's some kings in the building. Throw your fists up and show some respect. There's gorillas in here, gorilla in here. It's gorillas in here, gorilla in here.
This video is brought to you by Extreme Tees. Click on the link below. Make sure you put Kevin in the promo code and you'll get a 20% discount. Take a look at this. A 5-ounce solid silver Apollo 11 coin like this could be yours free. Know why? Because it's Silver Month over at Noble Gold. The new administration is finally here, and one of their big things is climate change. Renewables need solar panels, electric circuits, and lots of other gizmos, including, you guessed it, silver. With a projected $2 trillion investment, there's never been a better time to profit from the future with your silver IRA. And all you have to do is visit our website today at noblegoldinvestments.com. Now, back to the video. On America, Kevin from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And, you know, at this point, we can't even stop this nonsense. I mean, maybe a miracle will happen, but by now you all know that our worst, my nightmare, has come true. Creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe has become the president somehow. And you know, I tried for a second to just say, you know what, this ain't a complete catastrophe. I'm not completely embarrassed and ashamed of who the man is allegedly representing our whole country right now. But I can't do it, man. I just can't do it, especially when I have this montage of things that embarrasses me as an American to have a leader to do these things. And you know, I'm gonna tell you right now, even though all of these things right here are completely embarrassing and it makes me sick to my stomach, and it further confirms why every time I see creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy step to the mic, I want to throw up in my mouth. But the last one is the one that really gets under my skin. I'm telling y'all right now, it's gonna make y'all want to throw up as well. I mean, let's just start here.
As this pandemic rages on, because there's nothing we can do to change the trajectory of the pandemic in the next several months. Donald Trump wants to style himself as a wartime president against this invisible enemy, the coronavirus. But like any other wartime leader, he takes no responsibility. He exercises no leadership. Now he's just flat surrendering the fight. Instead of leading the charge to defeat the virus, he just basically waved a white flag and has retreated. Because there's nothing we can do to change the trajectory of the pandemic in the next several months.
See, even though that was horrible, it's not the blatant hypocrisy and accusing Trump of things that he himself can't do. You know, that's bad. That's bad. You know, that's pretty disgusting, and that's something that Democrats always do. But nonetheless, that's not the worst.
The new Homeland Security Secretary calling out the Trump administration on his first full day on the job, as the Biden administration plans to open a temporary shelter for migrant children in Texas, the very practice the media blasted the Trump administration.
Now, some might think it's the fact that this dude signed executive orders to loosen up immigration and do the exact same things that they accused Trump of being Hitler for. But no, that's not it.
His first executive order, the 100 Days Masking Challenge, will symbolize the administration's sharp turn from the Trump era by emphasizing recommendations by public health experts. A president cannot tell states or cities what to do, but a federal mandate will affect federal offices and federal lands and will urge states to do the same. The executive action will direct the agencies to take action to require compliance with CDC guidance on mask wearing and physical distancing in federal buildings, on federal lands, and by federal employees and contractors, said Biden counselor Jeff Zients, who will be the administration's COVID-19 response coordinator. Wearing masks isn't a partisan issue. It's a patriotic act that can save countless lives. That's why I signed an executive order today issuing a mask mandate on federal property. It's time to mask up, America. But Joe Biden, he issues this, mandating masks on federal property. Then, just hours later, he's seen at the Lincoln Memorial, federal property, without a mask.
Now, you might say, well, it obviously have to be this dude signing an executive order for us to have to wear a mask on federal property, and he himself broke his own executive order within hours. No, that's not it.
Look, here's the deal.
I bet you're wondering, Kev, it has to be the fact that he can't say, here's the deal. Instead, it's, here's the deal, and embarrass his wife. But no, that's not it either.
We gotta, it's just, but you gotta, I mean, we gotta reassure, look, here, my message to everybody I talk to
now is, of course, that's pretty embarrassing right there. He's going through a message to everybody he's talked to, but we never found out what that message was because Joe didn't know what it was either. Maybe Joe's husband sitting next to him could have elaborated, but she didn't. But still, that's not the worst.
You know, there's a, during World War II, you know, where Roosevelt came up with a thing that, you know, was totally different than it's called, he called it the World War II, he had the War Production Board.
Now that one's pretty bad, but it's still not the worst. I mean, one might think that because this dude gets on TV and he gets interviewed by an obvious CNN, quote unquote, I would say, Democrat operative that is ignoring the fact that this dude don't know what he's saying, but still has to pretend that what he's saying makes sense. Just one might think that's pretty bad, but no, man. Nah, that ain't the worst.
He was in a video live stream and abruptly walked off.
Now that is pretty funny. The man just walks off in mid-conversation during a video live stream. But see, here's the problem with that. That might make the top 5 reasons why I get disgusted every time I hear or see Joe Biden. But the problem is it made me laugh. It was darn funny to see this dude just wander off. So yes, that was embarrassing, but it was too funny to put it in the top, say, 5.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Now the "you ain't black" comment just made me mad. And what made me even madder was black people forgave him. That right there makes me madder than the comment that Joe Biden said. So I can't put that in the top 5. That ain't even his fault. That's the fault of all the people who ignore constantly the racist rhetoric and the hypocrisy of the left. So, you know, I'm not even I'm not going to even hold that one on him, even though that was pretty raunchy. But still, it ain't the one.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Kingswood Community Center. Actually, that's the one down I used to work. As a joke. You didn't know where we were anyway.
That right there is pretty darn embarrassing to have him walk out there and say, welcome to something community center. Actually, and try to play it like it was a joke. If it was a joke, what was funny? What was so funny about that, man? We didn't get the joke. Maybe you need the drummer on the side going to let us know it was a joke. It wasn't a joke. It was a response to the fact that it hit him like, oh crap, I did it again. Oops, oh, I did it again.
Business is realizing they've got to price in the carbon. They have to price in the price of carbon, and so there's so much. I think. Anyway, look, I one more question here. Is it too late to address the climate change?
Well, I'm so glad to hear you talking about that as eloquently as you do, Joe.
Ooh. Now, see, that right there ranks at least in the top 3 of embarrassing moments, see, because that man his brain just completely broke in the middle of that statement. And then, you get Al Gore sitting there trying to pretend that he doesn't notice it. And that's the only reason it doesn't rank higher. It's definitely in the top, maybe 3 to 5, but it was kind of, watered down by Al Gore being even funnier than Joe Biden was. More embarrassing than Joe Biden was the fact that this alleged intelligent man right there just sat there through that whole statement looking like, oh, okay, oh, yeah, trying to hide his emotions, and then had the nerve to come out and say, I'm happy to be hearing you speak so eloquently about this topic. Are you kidding me, man?
You know, the rapidly rising I don't know.
That's up there, guys. That one is up there in the top right there where he's just looking down, scratching his head and gave up. I mean, the man was rapidly rising. You know what? I don't know.
We cannot let this we've never allowed any crisis from the Civil War straight through to the pandemic of 17, all the way around 16. We have never let our democracy take second fiddle. We can both have a democracy and elections and at the same time correct the public health.
I bet you're saying to yourself, now come on, Kev. Come on, man. That got to be at least in the top 3. But that was pretty bad. I mean, this man right here, yeah, he threw together a word salad and didn't leave out nothing. I mean, he was like, give me those croutons, put those on top. I need some black olives, stuff that people don't even like to eat on their salads normally. He put that all in there. This dude reached in a bag of Scrabble tiles and just poured them out and threw them on the board and hoped that they made words. And even though that was pretty embarrassing, it's not the one that makes my stomach turn and completely makes me ashamed when I think of other countries looking at our so-called leader.
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it.
Now, I must admit, guys, that was pretty embarrassing. This man didn't know where he was going with that. He jumped on the freeway of logic and reason and ran completely off the rails. This dude right now is over the hill, upside down with the wheels still spinning. He was all over the road, man. People behind him was like, would you pick a lane? You about to get us all killed, man, with that mess. Talking about some, look, see, 100, we never allowed. Let's think about it. See, that was his go-to. It was just, you know what? I don't know where I'm going with it. So I'm going to leave it on the audience to just interpret what I might mean and just tell them, you know what? Just think about it. Yeah, it's open-ended with him, and that's pretty embarrassing, but still.
We have to take care of the cure. That will make the problem worse no matter what.
Now that was just plain out dumb. We have to take care of the cure because that will make the problem worse no matter what. You see that? And the man looks dead serious, and the woman interviewing him have to sit there with a straight face and earn her paycheck from propaganda MSNBC. As this man sits back and throws that out there like it was deep. We have to take care of the cure because that will make the problem worse no matter what. I think that's what he said. And if he didn't, who cares? Because whatever he said makes no sense whatsoever. So even though that was pretty darn dumb and funny, I can't give it number 1.
I tell you what, I'm so darn proud. And those poor people who have lost, anyway.
Yes, that was sickening, guys. That right there is pretty sickening. That right there highlights the pandering that comes out of the Democrat Party, trying to keep all of those pander statements and groups, organized in his head. It's too difficult. This man was like, those poor, who the heck are those poor? Wait, am I talking about the blacks, the Eskimos, the Native Americans, the women, the transgenders, the gay, lesbian, the Latinos, the illegal, and so many people, and all the pandering that I learned in pander school has forsaken me because my brain right now been pandering for 47 plus years and it's breaking down. So he just gave up mid-thought right there. Like, I'm so distraught just thinking about it. I'm not going to finish what I'm talking about. I'm not going to tell you, see, so that was embarrassing for us, for the whole country, and for Joe. Okay, but the problem is he doesn't even know he's embarrassed because at this point he doesn't know what he's talking about. So that's not number 1.
Donald Trump does pose an extra threat to this. It's not hypothetical.
Now, y'all know that's one of my pet peeves. The fact that this man can't say existential threat is always existential, and he just gives up. And they have tried this so many times with this dude, and he fails the test every time. Why do y'all keep putting that word in the teleprompter? Don't they know by now he can't say it? Existential threat. So why keep throwing him the pass and he drops it every single time? So I can't give that number 1. I'm going to blame the people who writes his speeches.
I just can't figure the guy. It's like watching a yo-yo. I shouldn't have said it that way. It's like watching.
It feels that way. I want to ask.
Why doesn't he just act like a president? That's a stupid way to say it.
Donald Trump was asked on.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I probably best I don't.
Now that does make me want to throw up a little in my mouth, because that whole interaction with this paid operative from MSNBC shows that this man is completely washed up, weak, and sorry. Head down, body language, shoulders shrunk down. No, go ahead. No one watching this feels like he's a man of confidence, strength, none of that stuff. In fact, it makes me want to attack some gentle woodland creature out in the woods. It suddenly activates my hunter instinct, because right now he looks like some type of wounded creature. Head down, and she has to laugh it off with embarrassment and try to fill in the blanks. I bet you right now she's probably going, ew, how does his wife even look at him like he's a man? Because I know I'm looking at him like, what the crap is this? That makes every single one of our enemies lick their chops. But still, that's not the worst.
What will your administration do to help give them that chance? Thank you.
Move it up here. You know, there used to be a basic bargain in this country. Workers shared in the wealth their work helped create. One of the things that that I think is really important is that we somehow put that back on. There's somehow that we're in a situation where we work together. In addition to that, we have to make sure that we are in a position that we are. Well, let me go a second.
That right there makes me have mixed emotions. It's embarrassing, and it makes me want to throw up a little bit, but it's also funny as heck, because this dude right here, he's at that point right now where he don't even care. This man's sitting there, especially this last clip right here. In addition to that, you see the hand, guys? This man's brain doesn't even register that dude, you're still on camera. You do realize all the people see you doing this, and come on, Joe. Come on, man, in his words. So I can't rank that number one, because that's just that's funny. It's sad and funny at the same time. So it gives me mixed emotions.
Unlike the African-American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things.
So we back to the black thing again, Joe. Yes, that's pretty disgusting, but I can't really blame him, because, I mean, the man has been saying stuff like that for years. And yet all these sensitive liberals and angry black folks and other minorities who think that conservatives are white nationalists and racists somehow overlooks that every single time.
Go to Joe 30330 and help me in this fight. Thank you very much. It would be it'd be 154 billion. 2.5 million, 300,000. Like 600,000+ people. There's each and every one of them.
60,000. Yeah, 60,000.
660. I missed it. It would put 720 million women back in the workforce. Roughly 25% of their, they gave it, I think it was 54, don't hold me to that, 54%. Over 500 miles a day, 250 miles a day. 150 million people have been killed since 2007, more than all the wars, including Vietnam. Now we have over 120 million dead from COVID. It's estimated that 200 million people have died, probably by the time I finish this talk. A $15 million or $15,000 minimum wage. 500,000, 50,000, 50,000. 330 or 303 330 or BOO. Wait. I mean, billions of $2.3 billion worth of, $500 billion out of $1.6 trillion worth, $1.4 trillion worth, out of $1.4 billion. And by the way, it's cost a lot of money. It cost about $740 billion over 10 years.
Now, that montage has to be up there in the top 3. That's one of my pet peeves. the fact that Joe makes up numbers that don't even exist. That's a problem for me because the man is supposed to be over the budget. But apparently he can't even make up real numbers anymore. 160 billion, gazillion, billion, trillion. See, when you're starting to make up numbers, that's pretty embarrassing. At this point, I'm sure Russia, all these countries that been licking their chops are going to throw some numbers at Joe because Joe won't be in the counting up anyway. I mean, this man's been all over the place when it come down to numbers. 7 billion, gazillion, million, minus 3, 7, negative 2, 5, 1, circumference of pi. Yeah. So, yes, that's a problem. That's probably in the top 3. That has to be. That montage of just number salad. See, he got the word salad going. And for those that don't like the word salad, he gives you the number salad.
And in order to avoid those very high numbers, we have to do at least several things. One, we have to depend on what the president's going to do right now. And first of all, he has to wait till the cases before anything happens. Look, the whole idea is he's got to get in place things that were shortages of.
That was bad. I mean, here's the guy now that's supposed to be over COVID and been telling us the whole time that he's the man with the plan. And he gets on TV and say at the end of this statement, we got to get in place things that were shortages of. Now that right there shows he's reverted back to maybe like a 2 or 3 year old, mind frame where they're hacking up statements. They can't get the verbs and the nouns on. They say like him over there keep looking at me, or her won't let me have the blocks. That's where he's at this point, and it's really an indictment against many Americans, not us, because I didn't vote for this crap. Right there, that right there embarrasses the whole family, the whole American family. But somehow that escaped the bubbleheads that voted for the guy. I guess they didn't see his magical plan to deal with the pandemic.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the nation's Constitution Center. We had the great privilege of being the guest leader of this outfit for a year.
Oh, snap. Oh, let me shake it off. That right there is pretty bad. I think that right there, I'm going to reserve it. Right now, we got 2 more clips left. That right there, I guess it solidifies his nickname that President Trump gave him. Sleepy Joe. Everything about what I just witnessed right there was completely sleepy. Okay? His whole presence, his whole voice, the fact that he's wheezing after walking about 10 or 12 feet makes me want to go to sleep. That's right. That whole clip right there should be one big fat sleeping pill. If you can't sleep at night and you suffer from insomnia, call up your doctor and watch him say, well, here's what I'm prescribing. Watch this clip of creepy, sleepy, sloppy, sleazy, slimy Joe, and you'll fall asleep within seconds. That right there is pretty bad. Is it number 2? I'll see. Let's check out this one right here.
For example, the Paycheck Protection Act. 1% of the money's gone out. 1%. 1% of the that's not the paycheck. The bill for small businesses.
Lending.
Mainstream lending. 1%'s gone out.
Now, not only is that embarrassing, but it should be a crime, honestly. Because see, right here, this man is showing us that he can't be our leader. He doesn't know what the heck he's talking about. And this media that's been carrying water for him, covering for him, dragging him across the finish line, burying all the stories, are assisting him. Can you imagine if Trump would have got on there hacking up all of these things like Joe has been doing, couldn't get the numbers right, making statements that make absolutely no sense what this woman would be doing? She would be letting him have it. So even though this is dumb, embarrassing, and disgusting, I still have to put a lot of this on the corrupt, funky, nasty, stinking, dirty, poop-smelling, dumpster juice liberal media that's helping him. So yeah, I'm going to have to go with number 2, the sleepy scene where he came out, good afternoon. Yeah, that's number 2. But y'all, drum roll. Number 1. What is he doing? Come on, Joe.
Come on, you got it. Come on, you can do it.
People are watching.
There it is. Oh, nope. Never mind.
First executive order.
This is mess.
Memorandum for the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development to address our nation's and the federal government's history of discriminatory housing practices and policies.
That was number one. The fact that this man couldn't even put a pin in his jacket is number one. And you telling me we trusted him with the nuclear codes? I mean, this man couldn't find the hole in his jacket. I don't even know if he knew he had the pen in his hand when he started off. I don't know. I mean, and let me just put it up for some reason. But then, just swap this one out as it drops to the floor and he reaches for another pen. That right there sums up his whole campaign. Everyone who overlooked this whole montage and still voted for him, and the fact that there are people out there in the media that's still covering for this guy. Do you know what they would be doing if Trump took about 15 to 20 seconds trying to get an ink pen in his jacket and was unsuccessful? They would be giving him the business all week, all month, all year long. But this guy who couldn't handle the most simple task of putting an ink pen in your jacket, nothing. And that is the worst thing I've ever seen out of this dude, which is saying a lot, because as you saw through the montage, he got some great hits. And I'm talking some great hits. He never fails to please. Every single hit that he comes out with, everybody, man, is like, dude, I could put his whole album of hits on and not have to FF one time. Not have to fast forward, because every single thing he's dropped out there has been #1 stunners. But this one is gold. This is platinum. This right here is classic. And is also an embarrassment to our whole country. And there you have it, the #1 hit. God bless you, and God bless America.
Get fed with me, I'm scared, this is our city, yeah, our state, yeah, our coast, up north, got our hands round dog rope, cut your wind off, we eat, bring the room, get your hands off our plate before we eat through them, got a storm, got us robbing, you ain't noticed it yet, y'all got a problem, I know you see the goons, I know you see the apes, I know you see the way we tear up the place, yeah.
Just want to say thanks for checking out the video. Check out Extreme Tees, my sponsor. The link is below this video. If you click on it and put Kevin in the promo code, you'll get a 20% discount. And finally, don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button. And if you'd like to donate to Kevin and Kevin's Corner, there's links below this video to do that as well. Okay, God bless you and God bless America.